All right, so I don't know how long this is gonna be. I'm just making this right now in the moment, and I'm gonna throw it up there because why not? If you know who I am, GEM333 on all platforms. Music, I make music, I produce, I do all my own stuff, blah blah blah. Whatever. If you're curious, I'm sure you'll listen. If not, whatever. If you hate me, all right, cool. I don't care. Anyway, I just want to come on here because I want to make a video. I'm just gonna post it, see what happens, you know? So I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys like where my headspace is at music wise, and I've been feeling really good. The best mentally I felt in a while, especially revolving around music, and I'm loving every second of it. And the last time I felt like this was when I dropped a project a couple years ago called Late Night Vibes. Bunch of kind of dark rap, synthetic, I don't know, rap, whatever you want to call it. I don't really put a genre on my music. I just think it's different. It fits the rap genre the best, I guess, if you want to say that. I'm a rapper, whatever. I consider myself more like an artist. But anyway, I had so much positive feedback from Late Night Vibes, and I was so grateful from that. And one of my favorite songs I've ever made to this day is still the first song on that project, which is Two Faced. And I got so much great feedback on it. People wanted a second one, so I threw a second one together, and I really loved how that one turned out. I feel like I could have mixed it, finished it, Matt, done all that better. But I've just been doing this with me and a couple friends. If you guys are interested, go listen to Insomniac, uh, and go listen to Mute 3X. I'll probably put them down below. But yeah, I haven't had a great time working on music since that first project. And like I said, people wanted a second one, so I made a second one. I threw it out, I put it together. I still love that project too to this day. And the second one got really great feedback as well, and I'm so grateful for that. The problem that came up was people wanted a third one, and I never planned on releasing a third one. I didn't even plan on making a second one. Like, I thought this was just going to be a once and done thing for me, like project wise, and I was just going to do other projects. But you guys and myself have seemed to really love that series. So, yeah. Anyway, I made a third one, and I rushed it. I can't lie, because I was excited from getting the feedback from one and two. So yeah, I put a third one together and I rushed it, and I didn't get the best feedback, but it wasn't hated. And I got good feedback on songs like Four Ways and Road Rage, featuring Mute, and I have one on there with Insomniac. I forget the name of that one, but anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to admit that I did rush that project. I did just drop it in the heat of the moment for the hype. I literally dropped it like maybe a month and a half, 2 months after I dropped the second one, which I should have never done. But I feel like my songs have come out the way that they were supposed to come out, and everything is like a learning thing. You live and you learn and you grow as an artist. So I'm just trying to do that. But anyway, where my headspace is at too with this, I'm going to make sure that this next album is the best of mine so far. I say so far because I can always grow, but I'm having so much fun with it. I have a project called No Expectations, Unexpected Edition. That's the deluxe. I dropped an album called No Expectations, and that got really good reviews because I took my time on it. People loved it. I like it. That one I was asked on to make a deluxe. Well, not make a deluxe for that. I had messages like people were wishing that it had more songs, and then that sparked the idea to make a deluxe because I've never made a deluxe album ever, and that was something that I always wanted to do. So I sat down, started writing more music, and music that I thought could fit the No Expectations album. So we dropped No Expectations Unexpected Edition because I didn't talk about it. I didn't really post about it. I just said I was working on something, and the next thing you know, I threw up uh, the Lex album from that one. And the first album is like 9 songs on there, and the deluxe has like 20. So I don't know, is it like 14, 15 new ones? I don't know. I can't math. Anyway, I feel like I really pushed myself with that one. I love that project. I love how it turned out. I think I was a little hard on myself, but everything sounds great, and I think all those came out how they they should have been. And then we get into the next part. I started getting into a headspace where I didn't really want to work on a new project. I didn't want to do anything else, and I was kind of getting into a dark, negative, kind of depressing headspace. And my music is kind of sad and it is depressing, and I like to talk about on stuff that I go through, which isn't a problem. Not all my music is like that, but a good majority of it is. So I started getting into this headspace, and I started to make like a new project, and I called it Knock First Enter Never. And I love that project. That's the last one I dropped in December of 2025. And I really, 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 really do love that album. I think I pushed myself too hard on it, and I know I did because I tried to make it like the best sounding I could. I pushed myself to the point where I was even getting really miserable and kind of depressed working on the album. I can't lie. Even though I do love the songs on there because I think it how my mindset and my emotions were then, like it really tied to the album, and it really gave it a great story, because the story behind Knock First Enter Never is like, when people lock themselves in their room, or they just want to be alone and they don't want to talk to anyone even when they should, and like they're going through it. It's like you can knock as many times as you want at the door, but who says is there gonna be anyone on the other side to let you in, or if they want to let you in? So it's kind of up for grabs. You can take it how you want, but I think I pushed myself a little too hard on that one. And I love the project, don't get me wrong. I don't think I had the most fun on it. And then after that, I was this close, like not wanting to drop it. But I was like, no, I'm dropping it. I love the songs, and it was, all the songs were great. They had great emotion for that time. So I threw it out. And then after that, a couple months went by, and I was like, I'm done working on music. Like, for now, not saying I'm quitting. I'm not quitting, but I mean, like, I was done working on music then, and I didn't have any bright ideas, and everything that was coming to mind was dark because I was still in that dark headspace of that. And I was like, no, I got to get out of this. So I took a break. I took some time off. I even took some time off from social media for a bit. And then I was like, no, I got to get back on it and bring it back. So, we hop back on it. We've been posting like every day. And I've been having more people tune in. So like I said, I'm very grateful for y'all. Love y'all. 333 family, you know what's up. If you haven't heard any of the music, you should check it out and share it. Oh my god. Or give us a follow, give us a subscriber. Who knows? You might love GEM333. You never know. Anyway, back to what I wanted to talk about. After I took the time off, and I needed to like collect my thoughts in my mind and be like, okay, where do I want my music to go next? What do I want to do? And I was like, I need to get back to having fun and not taking it so seriously, and not stressing myself out and worrying about, I gotta record this, I gotta make this, I want this, blah, 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 and all this stuff going off in my head. And I was like, no. I took time off. I really sat there and I thought, and I was like, what do I want to do? When did I have the most fun with this? And why did I have the most fun? Well, to answer that was Late Night Vibes, the first one. That was probably the most fun I've ever had working on a project ever. I loved not all the vibes on it, not just to say that, but me, I like to call my songs vibes. I think I have a bunch of different vibes. I have a bunch. That's just my thing. And I really like dark, kind of lo-fi hip-hop in like a way. I just try to make something new, and I really like a synthetic sound. And I feel like everything that I wanted to capture in music happened when I made the Late Night Vibes project. So much to where people wanted a second one. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but yeah, I made a second one. I think it could have been done, better, but I've been learning as I go here. I don't have like a whole team behind me or nothing. It's just been me and a few friends. I'll say it again if I didn't say it earlier. Shout out Insomniac, shout out Mute. Put their things down below. Pretty sure I remember saying that. I know I've been talking a lot. It's like, I don't know what, 10 minutes. But other than that, I made a third project and I rushed it. And like I said, sorry if I'm reiterating myself here, but I feel like I rushed that project and it could have been so much better. And I'm not beating myself up for it. Like I said, all the songs that I made and they came out how that they were supposed to come out, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But that was when I was like trying to think after the project that I just dropped in December, Knock for Center Never. I was like, where can I be music wise, and what do I enjoy? And I'm like, I really love my Late Night Vibes project. And I said in the third one that was the final project. And I lied, because I was, even making that project, I was in a negative headspace because everyone loved the first one and they wanted me to make a second one, and I wanted to outdo the first one. And maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't really care like I used to. And I got a lot of feedback on too. And they were like, do a third one. And I rushed it. And sorry if I'm saying that again, but it's just my mind rambling here. I'm going to call this Gem Yap session. But yeah, I rushed it. It could have been a lot better. Not every song on it I hate. I don't hate any of my music. I love all my songs individually because at that time that was how I felt, and I've been growing as an artist, like I said. But anyway, I was like, need to start having more fun, and that's doing that dark lo-fi late night vibes type of vibe. Excuse me. I've always liked music that you can drive around to, listen to late at night with your friends, yourself. If you're sad, if you're alone, if you're happy, if under the influence of stuff, sorry. But yeah, I was like, the last time I really had fun was that first Later Night Vibes project. And I was like, dude, we gotta bring it back. So for my new album that's coming out, it's gonna be called LNV for Life. And I'm bringing that series back because it's one that I love, and I don't want to kill the series, like I said. And I think it was just because of my mindset at the time. Like I said, one was amazing. I had great feedback on two. I saw the hype building around it, so I rushed three. And then I got a nice slap in the face, and I was like, damn. But you live and you learn. So, yeah, so I'm here tonight to say my next album is LNV for Life. I do have a release date set in mind. I'm not going to talk about it yet until I have it set. I don't have anything set in stone right now. I have a track list written down. I have a lot of stuff written down for the project, and I have songs made for the album. I'm not rushing this one. I'm not doing what I did to the third one, and I'm going to make this the best album I have ever dropped yet, and I promise that. And I think maybe that's just to fulfill a promise to myself, and I guess y'all too, for the ones that really love my music and tuning in, which, again, thank you. I'm very grateful for it. But yeah, I'm going to make sure this is the best project to drop so far, and I'm so excited about it. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I might even drop a single before the album comes out. Probably a single that won't be on the album, because I like to drop singles before an album sometimes, and then I don't usually put that single on the album all the time because I like a project to tell a story and throw all new songs on there. I don't want to add singles I don't want to drop 3, 4, 5 singles and then tell you guys I have a new album coming out and then drop an album with 10 songs and 5 of them are those singles that you always heard. That always annoyed me in music, or when artists make a deluxe project and they drop an album with like, I don't know, 15, 16 songs, and they go, oh, deluxe project, and then the deluxe comes out after months and they added like 1 or 2 songs. I'm like, yo. So that's why, bringing it back to my old music, never made a deluxe until No Expectations, Unexpected, edition, and I didn't throw 1 song on there. I threw like, what, 15 some on there, something like that. And then the only time I put a single on any of my albums, I'm pretty sure, was on the Memories to Remember. I dropped a single called Back Soon because everyone loved it, and people said it would be great for that album that I was promoting at the time, so I threw it on there. That was the only time I've done that. And maybe I'll do it more. I don't know, but I'm not going to be dropping 5-10 singles and then tell y'all I'm dropping an album of 11 songs and 10 of them are those singles. So I'm not doing that. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. The next album is going to be LNV for Life. I'm very excited. I will keep y'all updated on that. And I'm really happy and grateful where I'm at right now with this music. So, that's all I got. If y'all enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, share. Go stream GEM333 if you want. Spotify, all platforms, whatever you want. Drop a follow if you want. Lil Gem is the Instagram and the TikTok. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. 333 vibes, family. You know what's up. And peace.